So
Okay,
you're hijacking my
I'm
interview, eh?
hijacking the interview. Welcome, Zach Miller, to my interview. Okay, we're going to have fair representation in this one.
Take it away,
I'm
Andrew.
going to go through the questions, but we can go off script a little bit if necessary. If I have some questions I want to ask you too. Let's have a look. I've got my questions on a different computer, so I'm going to be looking over here.
All right, no problem, man. I'm excited to get interviewed. I haven't got interviewed before.
All right, well, I'm excited to do the interview. I've never actually interviewed anybody before, so this is exciting for both of us, I guess. Let's look. The first question, have you run Ode before? You know, not everybody knows. Tell us.
Yeah, I ran Ode in 2019, the first year of the race. Yeah.
And what's your connection to Ode, and how do you hear about it and all that?
So yeah, I mean, me and Tad are good friends. Tad is a Rooster member, and I'm a Rooster, longtime Rooster. So theoretically, Ode, or you know, the summer Michigan vacation is part of the Sorry Trials that the Rooster team or Tad started beforehand. And then when Tad told me he was starting a race, obviously with my race experience, decided to help him out, and I came to the first year of the race.
Sweet. And how did you do it, that first one?
Yeah, first one I did about 50K. So I had some bigger races planned for the fall, and so the plan was always to go and do 50K and cut it out and continue to help Tad, you know, throughout the race and pre-race setup and stuff like that. So I did about whatever that is, 8 laps ish.
Mm-hmm. So you're more of a mountain racer. You like these mountain hundreds, right?
I do, yeah, I definitely do. Which is interesting because I started my ultra running career down in Texas, and obviously there's no mountains in Texas, but I obviously like being competitive. I like finishing at the top. I like having a shot, and I know that with my skill set, I'm not going to outrun people. So I can never compete with the top guys in a flat 100. But I know that I have the mental strength, and I also have the physical climbing ability to compete at more of a harder, longer mountainous race. So that's where I've taken my ultra running career. And then it happens to be that after that I moved to New Hampshire. So I basically live in the mountains every weekend now.
Well, you say you're not competitive, but you did pretty well at Cool Jewel recently, even though you had a sleep midway, right? Like 9th you got?
Yeah, I misstated. I am competitive. So yeah, I got 9th at Cruel Jewel. I took a planned sleep. I'm good at sticking to my plan. My plan had always been to take a nap because I know my strengths and weaknesses pretty well, and I knew it was a smart thing to do. Even though I had other friends telling me not to sleep, I disregarded their advice and listened to my smart coach and slept, and it all ended well. I basically even split the race. I mean, I take that back. The last like 6 miles, there's a little hard segment on the way back, but I mean, in all honesty, I basically even split the whole race if you take out my 2-hour nap.
So I was pretty much, you blazed past me at the other one, Grindstone, after having a sleep, and obviously you beat me again at this Cruel Jewel. You're a little quicker than I am. But you do have this sleep strategy. You need to sleep. Well, I was one of the ones telling you not to sleep. I still think you should not sleep through a night. And so this is going to play out in this Ode, right? The sleep aspect of it. This is, you can't just have your 2-hour sleeps in this race. What is your strategy for this?
That's a good question. I knew you were going to ask me. So I have a strategy. I am planning on testing it out this weekend, actually. So I have a weekend run planned that I will test out my strategy. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to say. I mean, I guess I was questioning if I say it or not, but my plan is to go fast. I mean, I'm going to I say I'm not fast, but I can run fast. I mean, I ran in high school, I ran in college. So the plan at night, especially since it's road, is I'm going to try to run about 40-minute laps. Maybe slightly under, maybe slightly over, unknown. And then try to get about 15 minutes of sleep between laps. So the idea this weekend is I know I won't be as tired this weekend, but to just see if I can fall asleep fast, try to get my heart rate low pretty fast, and stuff like that. I've been practicing running by heart rate so that I can keep my heart rate low coming into like my chair. So I can usually keep my heart rate like sub 135, like in the 8-minute per mile range on the road, even in the heat, and some hills. So, I mean, I don't want to go 8-minute pace, but, I mean, if I can keep my heart rate, sub 130, sub, 135, I think I can fall asleep pretty fast.
I think that's going to be key to keep the heart rate low if you want to be able to rest between laps, right?
Yeah, so that's the goal. I mean, the goal is to just keep my heart rate low during the road laps, so then that way I'm not wasting too much heart rate and I can get in my chair and fall asleep while everybody else is still running.
Right. I'd love to. I'll have to see how that unfolds. That's a unique strategy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, I could go into the race and I could go in and do, 50, 55-minute laps and try to sleep for 5 minutes, but I don't think I can win like that. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think it's a winning strategy for me for day after day. And I know my body's pretty resilient for miles and elevation and stuff like that. So I figure it's the best strategy I have. And I think it's my best way to keep on going for 2+ days.
I'd like to hear the 2+ days. Let's have a look at some of these other ones, what I haven't covered. Yeah, I guess this one goes along with it. So you've been doing all this game, training. You say you're going to do some practice with the sleeping. How have you been changing up your general training strategy for the backyard?
Yeah, so I'm pretty notorious. Well, let's say me and my coach have developed a pretty good low mileage strategy for most of my other races. And so it's more about time on feet. So I'll do a lot of long hiking in the mountains and stuff like that for most of my other races. Basically like 100% trail or treadmill for all my other races. Now I'm on the road every day. So I think the road is a little, not to say unknown for me, but just the joints. I mean, I feel like my body is older than it is. And so I'm doing a lot of practice on the road to get used to that 50 miles on the road, basically every day, which I think is a lot tougher than people realize. I mean, I can run 100 miles on trail. Most people can run 100 miles on trail, but have you ever run 50 miles on the road in one day? I mean, that's pretty tough. So that's mainly been the change in training, is running, and then running on the concrete on the road, every day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week type of thing.
Yeah. And that's significant, right? Yeah, don't underestimate that. It isn't concrete. I think it's blacktop, so it will be slightly better than the concrete, but still going to be.
Yeah, definitely harder than the trail. So, I mean,
sure.
It's something.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. What else we got here? What is the best piece of advice you've received about backyard ultra racing?
Probably the no lap goal thing, like the mental, like you just can't have a goal of like, oh, like I think the race is going to end at 150, or, like let me just get to the 100-mile mark and then figure out things. If you have some predetermined notion of some number, you're done. Like you will be done 100% within 2 laps after that number, right? So I think that's the biggest thing, is just race, race until there's only one person left, and don't worry about what the number is. I've only run 150 miles. Like once it gets to 150, like I'm just going to have to figure out stuff. Like I don't think any of that matters. It's just stop thinking about the number.
Yeah. I was thinking about that recently as well. You look at Cruel Jewel and it goes along the same lines. I used to think, oh, let's make it to the next, to the top of this next mountain. Let's go to the next one. And then I'm good. It's going to be downhill, but they are relentless, right? You can't think like that. You just got to go, move forward, relentless forward progress and just keep going. Did you feel the same way about the hills there at Cruel Jewel?
See, I don't know. Maybe I don't. I mean, I have a different mentality, but Cruel Jewel was a very mentally easy race for me, actually, honestly, because I knew I had that sleep at 50, and like a turnaround like that, where there's a turnaround, like it's like you can easily kind of chop it up into 2 races. It's like, all right, once I get to 50, like I can do whatever I need. I can sleep. I can take a long break. And then you can go back and kind of do it again. So I feel like that was a little easier for me. As far as the mountain stuff, though, like that's normal. So it's just like that's my normal like weekend, like up a mountain, down a mountain, up a mountain, down a mountain. So it's really like I love the mountains. And like what I like doing with the mountains is like playing a game of like, is this the top? Is this not the top? Like guessing, oh, this is the top of the mountain, and you stop going up, because like in my mountains, I feel like the tops never stop and you never really know where it is. Like you get to the top and you kind of go around a bend and it goes up again. So I was playing like this game at Cruel Jewel, like, am I around the bend or am I still going up or am I stopping? So yeah, I guess that's it.
What, and just kind of a sidebar here, how long did that take you at Cruel Jewel? You were pretty fast there.
I was sub 29. Yeah, I think I was sub, like under 29. I think it was under 29 or maybe 28. I don't know. It was something like, it was right under there, but my watch was off a little bit, so I didn't know how many miles I had left. So I knew I was close to like the hour mark, so I wanted to go under like 29 hours. And so I tried to run fast in the trail, and it just really wasn't happening. So I was like, well, when I get to that camp road, like I'm going to full out like sprint. And so I literally was like, me full out sprint at the end is still like 12-minute, miles. That probably looks like I was about to fall over. But I literally was like sprinting to try to break that, that hour.
Yeah. I guess that the reason I'm asking this is because you did that around 20, 28, 29. Is that the longest you've been on your feet?
Yeah, at one time, yeah, that's the longest I've been on my feet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to prepare for going much longer than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of, like, I did a couple 8-hour, like, no breaks on my feet in the mountains prior to the race. I've done like a 24. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely my longest on my feet.
Yeah, does that concern you not going longer than that, or is it just something you're embracing? You're like, I wasn't done at that time. I can go much longer than that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't worry me at all as far as the time or even the distance, because I know, based off my last 200s, I've been able to walk the next day basically without problem. So I feel like the distance is not an issue. The physical is not an issue. It's really just, for me, it's about the sleep. And I mean, I think I can figure out a way around the sleep. So.
Cool. Glad to hear that. Right? Let's see what else we got here. What do you fear most? Use this sleep, I guess. I guess you're going to ask this, what is the greatest mid-race challenge that you anticipate having to overcome? It's probably going to be the sleep again, I guess, right? Unless you have other thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, probably the sleep. I mean, if I can't make a lap, I can't make a lap. I mean, there's not really, I mean, that's a challenge, but at that point, if my body won't let me go any further, there's nothing I can do about it. But mentally, I'm just trying to, I don't want the mental or the sleep to break me. I literally want to go until physically I can't go anymore, right? So like, I come in at 1 hour and 1 minute because I literally couldn't run any faster on that lap. Like, I don't want to be like, I guess there could be a safety thing if like I go out and like I wander off to the middle of nowhere. But like, I
All
mean,
in the lake.
yeah, but like it's kind of how I want to go out. Is I kind of want to go out because I physically couldn't finish the lap anymore.
Right. If you could run with anyone in the world, who would it be and why? Myself excluded, of course.
I guess I've never thought about that from a running perspective.
And you've been asking these questions to everybody, so you should have thought, right?
So I'll go from a funny perspective, and this is because Matt Davis asked me this last interview, it'd be interesting to run with the other Zach Miller to like change stories, like, you know, like, hey, like I get emails about you all the time, and people always ask me, are you this Zach Miller or somebody else? I think it'd just be funny to run with him and just talk. So I guess that's my answer.
That's funny. That is a good one. I guess I got to hurry up now, so I'm going to blaze through some questions. Guilty snack quickly. What's your snack going to be?
I don't eat whole food during the race.
You don't? You're just going to be what, doing gels or what?
Yeah, like gels and fluids. So I guess Snickers. If I do have something, it's a Snickers. There you go.
Doesn't be. Are you going to do like that Tailwind or anything like that?
I use Infinite, but I do use Tailwind as backup.
Yeah. You were telling me about Infinite before. That's like specialized to your body, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go quickly. Lightning round questions. What is your favorite band?
Imagine Dragons.
Favorite ice cream?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Cousin Eddie or Clark Griswold?
Clark Griswold.
I have no idea who those people are. Chatty or not chatty during the race?
Not chatty.
Really? I would have guessed the opposite.
No, I like to stay in my own thoughts. I don't really like it when people talk to me.
Swedish Fish or Sour Patch Kids?
Neither. I don't eat candy too much, if at all.
Well done, medium or rare?
Rare.
Porter John or Bush's?
Bush's.
Favorite donut?
Just classic glazed donut.
And finally, Mr. Kipling apple pie or Mr. Kipling Bamberg cake?
Okay, so I have no idea what Mr. Kipling is.
Just gonna pick one. It doesn't even matter because I'm gonna shift it back towards Kipling.
Apple pie.
All right, awesome. Apple pie, Mr. Kipling it is. Thank you for confirming.
So what is this? What I don't know what it is.
Well, it was like a thing between, you know, Tad and I. He was like joking about Debbie, and I said, well, we've got our own thing in the UK called Mr. Kipling. And then we had an argument about who was older, and it actually turns out Debbie is way older. So we were assuming that maybe Kipling that's his auntie, Debbie. And then we were fighting about which was better. I sent Tad a load of Kipling cake, so he was able to say that. But he's taking it too far. Frankly.
So it's a cake. Yeah. It's a little.
It's a cake. Okay. It's the equivalent to Little Debbie in the UK, Mr. Kipling, right? Okay. So I'm going to be bringing a bunch to Ode. So maybe if I'm feeling generous, I'll share them so people can make their own decisions. Perhaps I can sway it back to Mr. Kipling because it's really over at Debbie right now, and there's no comparison. Right? All right, I think that wraps it up. Well, thanks for agreeing to be interviewed by me today. Well, you didn't really have any choice. I kind of pushed in. And I hope you all success on your race, but not. All
right. Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, Andrew.
All right. Thanks, mate.